Good morning. It's Wednesday, April 5th, 2017. From the Total Soccer Show, Dirty Tackle, and Howler Magazine, this is The Goalmouth. I'm George Qureshi. If you're hearing a slight echo, it's because I'm down in my dining room this morning instead of the guest room where I usually record. We have guests. Okay, on today's menu of bite-sized soccer news, the citizens of St. Louis tell some millionaires where they can put their tax dollars. Hint, not into a new stadium. FC Dallas becomes the first team to score against Pachuca at Estadio Hidalgo in 2017. Thanks, Tom Marshall. But Pachuca still knocks them out in the CONCACAF Champions League. The Irish women's national team is thinking about going on strike for better working conditions, like not having to get ready for matches in airport bathrooms. And losing to Barcelona B 12-0 is bad, but is it criminal? Apparently, yes. Well, I've been talking about this for months, but the public financing of a new soccer stadium in St. Louis finally went to a vote yesterday and lost, with 53% of voters deciding that giving $60 million to men who are already millionaires was a bad idea. A wise decision, says I, not a millionaire. Sports teams are great, but really, we're already fighting the upward redistribution of wealth on so many other fronts. I am heartened by this development. Hey, speaking of which, did you know that the slogan of Advocare is "We Build Champions"? I would revise that to something more like, "We build questionably legal pyramid-shaped structures designed to leech money from hopeful, possibly ill-informed working people." Anyway, the sponsor on the front of FC Dallas's jerseys was not enough to overcome the 18 gazillion sponsors plastered on Pachuca's kits, including Cementos Fortaleza, strong cement. Yeah, apparently in last night's CONCACAF Champions League semifinal, Dallas went into the match with a 2-1 lead from its home game, squandered a bunch of chances in the first half, then gave up 2 goals in the second. Still, because of the away goals rule, Dallas only needed to score once to force extra time. According to Tom Marshall, this would have been the first home goal Pachuca has given up in all of 2017, but they got it. Dallas got it. In the 86th minute, it looked like the game was going to 30 minutes of extra time. And then in stoppage time, a curling cross came in, nobody touched it, and Chris Seitz dove too late. In the replay, you can see him turn his body and just watch it bounce into the side netting. A very, very tough way to go out, but not unexpected. Also by way of Tom Marshall, this factoid: there have been 48 meetings between MLS and Liga MX teams, or as Daryl likes to say, Liga MX. He's probably right. 8 draws, 38 wins for the Mexican sides. That leaves 2 for MLS. This could change tonight when the Vancouver Whitecaps host Tigres. Vancouver will need to veritably blow the roof off of BC Place to overturn the 2-0 deficit from the first leg. Only that won't be possible. The roof of BC Place will already be off, or more precisely, it will be retracted. Vancouver sent out a press release announcing this decision, quote, "Yes, rain is in the forecast. Yes, the roof will be open. And yes, we hope it's going to be a wet, cold, and miserable night on the pitch. I, for one, cannot wait for that spectacle of beautiful and free-flowing soccer." Oh, you want a real spectacle? How about you have 10 minutes to dash through Terminal E to catch your connecting flight, but you miss it because you stop for a quick wee and the entire Irish women's national team is in there changing into their kits ahead of an international football match. You liked that transition, didn't you? Yes, changing in the airport is just one of the complaints made by the Irish women's team, who are threatening to go on strike if things don't improve. Among the other indignities, playing without being paid. Ugh. Having to share your jerseys with youth teams, ew, and staying in hotels without functional Wi-Fi. Most of the players are amateurs and they're asking for a measly €300 per person per match, which seems highly reasonable. Then again, I make a podcast for $0 and I pay for my own Wi-Fi, so I may not be the best person to ask about this. And finally, police in Spain have detained Filippo Di Piero, the Italian coach of Eldense in the Spanish third division, as well as the representative of the Italian investors who recently purchased the team, or I guess invested in the team. Eldense lost to Barcelona B by a score of 12-0 last weekend. Striker Sheikh Saad, very sad, claims that 4 of his teammates were paid to throw the match, and the club's president was tipped off by an agent that the game was being manipulated in relation to some online betting scheme. Wow, 4 goalmouth items, 4 novel ways for money to basically corrupt everything. Cool. Oh, I should mention that loss basically relegated the team, or sealed their relegation, as the story put it. Whew, okay, my name is George Qureshi. Taylor Rockwell will be with you tomorrow morning with hopefully some good news. At least one piece of good news, Taylor. Come on. About something. Anyway, don't forget to sign up for our newsletter, where you can click out to all the stories I've mentioned in this podcast. The link to sign up is in the show notes. And I leave you with today's Goalmouth top tip. You know what? I actually think leaving the roof open is a pretty good idea. Come on, Whitecaps.